Unmatched is famous for having an extensive roster of playable characters, but with so many matchups available, it is extremely difficult to play them all. In this series, we will be analyzing a variety of matchups in detail and hopefully discover some hidden gems. Join me as we explore the latest matchup of the month. If you're a fan of the channel, consider supporting me on Patreon. For as little as $1 per month, you can help me continue to bring you premier Unmatched content. Unlock exclusive rewards by becoming a patron today.
What's up guys, Zero Skater here, and we are back with another matchup of the month for September, this time featuring She-Hulk versus Elektra. Now, before we get into the episode, I do want to apologize for the lack of content. I know it's been a while. Again, I'm very busy. I recently started up school, so that consumes most of my free time, but I am happy to say that I did get the wonderful Darkblade113 to come on and be an editor for me for these videos. So big thanks to Darkblade, and he's just a great guy. If you've been a member of the Discord community, I'm sure you know of him. He does tons of hosts for the tournaments, getting those matches broadcasted to everybody, and he just participates in all kinds of stuff for Unmatched, and he's just a great guy and a good friend of mine. So big thanks to Zach Darkblade for doing this. Definitely helps me out a lot, and you know, that way I can continue to bring you all the awesome content that you all love. So huge shout outs to him, and he does have his own YouTube channel and Twitch channel, so go check him out, twitch.tv/darkblade113, and I believe that's probably his same tag on YouTube. I'm sure he will put the link in the description as he is now editing the videos, so go check him out. All his content is top notch. But anyways, also check out Chad's channel, of course, being a wonderful co-host for these Matchup of the Month videos. Can't forget that one. And we're going to get into it, She-Hulk versus Elektra. So it's kind of like Battle of the Scumbags yet again. We did Winter Soldier and Daredevil. Now we have Elektra and She-Hulk. So Elektra's notorious for being one of the most hated fighters in the game because of her degenerate fatigue playstyle. And it's very easy to see why she can be unfun in a lot of matchups. But in this matchup, I don't know that she's going to be able to go infinite because She-Hulk also has some recursion with Sensational, as we'll see a little bit later on in the video. And also She-Hulk has a ton of HP and very easy ways to deal huge amounts of damage to Elektra to hopefully negate that kind of first life and get into the second resurrected form pretty quickly and make it so Elektra can't purely rely on fatigue to win. But those are just speculations. I can't wait to find out and see what actually happens in the gameplay. I am not the biggest fan of either of these fighters, honestly. She-Hulk is a new fighter out of Brains and Brawn, which is a cool thematic set, but in practice, I think some of the characters are a little bit problematic, but that's just my opinion. I definitely still recommend you go try them out for yourselves and see what you think. But anyways, as always, guys, be sure to attack the like button if you enjoy the video and subscribe for more Unmatched content. And with that said, let's not wait any longer. We will go check out She-Hulk versus Elektra.
Alright, so here we are on Vorpal board as always, checking out our first fighter being She-Hulk. Again, one of the newer fighters coming out of the Brains and Brawn set, so many of you might not be super familiar with She-Hulk yet, but let's go ahead and run through the deck. So to start, She-Hulk is a melee fighter. She is solo, no sidekicks. Move 2 only, which is some pretty bad stats, but if you look at that starting health, that is 20. Which is the second highest starting health in the game so far, only second to the T-Rex, which is at 27. But T-Rex also has a lot of self-damage cards, where She-Hulk does not. So 20 actual starting HP is massive. So that kind of makes up for the fact that you're solo and melee move too. But anyways, the ability is just throw something. So at the start of your turn, you may discard a card to deal damage equal to its boost value to a fighter in your zone. So very similar to the Medusa ability, where at the start of the zone, you get to ping an opponent for 1 damage. But She-Hulk, you have to discard a card, but then it could be upwards of 3 damage instead of just the 1 from Medusa. So it's a bigger cost, but also a bigger payoff for using the just throw something ability. Now, She-Hulk also doesn't have a ton of card draw, as we'll see, so discarding can be a bit extra costly there in terms of your hand count. So you got to be careful. You don't want to just be throwing something every single turn just because you can. There are definitely some times where you want to hold off and not use the ability, but it is a very, very strong and threatening ability in general. It makes the opponent not want to approach you because they don't want to give you free damage. So they are going to want to force the initiative onto you as the She-Hulk player and force you to approach them. But if you can flip the initiative and have it the other way around where the opponent feels like they need to approach you in order to win, then She-Hulk is in a great, great spot. So let's go through the cards in the deck here. The first one being the Savage She-Hulk. It's a 3 value attack for She-Hulk. 3 boost value, which is the only 3 boost in the whole deck. Keep that in mind, and there's only 2 copies of this card, so that is a key factor. But during combat, you may spend an additional action to make this card's value a 9 instead. This card, wow, it's just absolutely massive. So a 9 value attack for one card is the biggest attack I think we've seen in the game for a single card yet. Of course, Big Reveal from Houdini and some other cards can bump up to 9s potentially, like Wakanda Forever from Black Panther, but they require additional cards spent. This only requires an additional action spent, but it's still a singular card. So 9 value attack is absolutely huge. It's definitely something that the opponent wants to feint, but you can only do this 9 value attack if it's essentially your first action or you haven't done a maneuver yet. So it has to be like the opponent approaches you, makes an attack, they end their turn adjacent, and then first action you hit them with the Savage She-Hulk, and they have to consider, well, is this the 9? Do I want to feint this, or do I want to try and value block instead? And it becomes a coin flippy combat interaction because of the next card, Omega Level Threat, which is a printed 5 value attack that says after combat, if you dealt 2 or more combat damage, your opponent discards 2 random cards. So they want to feint if it's your first action attack, but they don't want to feint Omega Level Threat because then, yeah, they cancel the discard, but they take 3 damage in the process. Whereas if they feint Savage She-Hulk, they're only taking 1 damage, so that's a big win. But that creates the coin flip here, the 50-50 between which one is it. Because Omega Level Threat, you could simply max value block with something like a Skirmish and only take 1 damage, and that also prevents the discards because Omega Level has to deal 2 or more combat damage. So if you max value block this, you're great. But if you max value block the Savage She-Hulk, then you're taking 5 damage. And that does not feel so great because that's a huge, huge amount of damage in a single combat. And also, it's kind of a double pass for She-Hulk because initiative is a major part of any She-Hulk game. So you always have to consider things like that, like passes and all that. And so Savage being an additional action spent is actually really, really good for She-Hulk in a lot of cases. The only way it's not is if you are being counter-pressured and you really need the extra actions for card draw from maneuvers. But oftentimes I think that's not the case, and the extra pass is definitely a benefit for She-Hulk. But yeah, Omega Level Threat, also just an insanely strong card. If they don't max value block it, losing 2 cards at random, a double ambush, is absolutely just deadly. I mean, you could lose a whole game just because of that effect alone. If you're Dracula and you lose Beast Form, or some other key card, Big Reveal for Houdini. Like, there's so many key cards in decks, and 2 random discards is like Achilles when Pat dies. That could be so brutal sometimes, and to have 2 copies of this card in the deck, it definitely is an Omega level threat. But let's move on to the next card being Sensational. This another fantastic card. It's a 4 value attack. After combat, if you won the combat, you may choose a card from your discard pile and you shuffle it back into your deck. So there's some recursion for you. So again, that changes up the initiative throughout the game because if you can increase your deck size, that's really good. And not just increasing the deck size, but potentially recycling things like Omega level threats and Savage She-Hulks is really, really scary. So Sensational, you definitely want to max value block this because it has to win in order to get the recursion. So if you can max value block and you stop the recursion, you're looking pretty good there. But it's also a 2 value boost, so it's a fine card to just throw at the opponent for 2 auto damage in certain matchups. So Sensational, just insane in this deck, and 3 copies feels really good. You could also just Sensational and shuffle back other Sensationals to keep increasing your deck size, and that's kind of something I think we might want to look out for in this matchup in particular versus Elektra. But moving on, we have Lady Justice, another card that is just brutal in the initiative slash fatigue game. Because it's a 0 value defense, but it says during combat, discard the top card of your opponent's deck and increase the value of this card by twice that card's boost value. So most boost values, the average is like a 2. So if you rip a 2 off the opponent's deck, then this card becomes a 4 value defense, which is insanely good. That's the max value block typically. And you also ripped a card off your opponent's deck. So that's insane. Like, again, you could just rip the Beast Form off of Dracula's deck, or the Big Reveal from Houdini, or the Log from Bigfoot. There's so many cards that this just destroys randomly off the top, and it feels so bad for the opponent. So Lady Justice is one of my biggest personal issues with She-Hulk. I think she should not have gotten this card the way it is. I think it's way too strong. Sure, you can offensive feint into it, and that's a big punish for She-Hulk, but then you don't have the feints for things like Savage She-Hulk, which becomes a 9. So you can't afford just offensively feinting all the time into She-Hulk, hoping to hit a Lady Justice, because you need those feints desperately. If you do hit Lady Justice with an offensive feint, that's a big win for you, but it's just so risky that you can't afford to do it more than maybe once a game at most, is what I would say. Because if you throw that feint into literally any other defenses that she has, you feel really, really bad. So it's a big risk, high reward, but the risk outweighs the reward, in my opinion. Lady Justice is an incredibly good card and definitely something that pushes She-Hulk over the edge in terms of power level. Next card is going to be the Defense Rests, a 2-value block. After combat, draw cards equal to the amount of combat damage you took. So it's the scientific method from Jekyll's deck. But this is definitely better because She-Hulk sometimes needs the card draw. And this can definitely help out because in games where She-Hulk can just play a slow, grindy game and go towards fatigue, then you just chuck this at the opponent. But a lot of times the way to beat She-Hulk is to counter pressure her and make it so that she doesn't want to throw things at you because she needs her cards because she has a very low hand size because you keep up the pressure. And in that case, Defense Rest becomes incredibly strong to actually refill your hand on defense. So this card, while not always applicable, can be very, very strong in certain matchups. Then we move on to Green Energy. This card is insane. It's literally a savagery from Bigfoot's deck, but it's a versatile, which is ridiculous because winning combat on defense is much easier than winning on offense, and so therefore you're likely to trigger the auto damage after combat effect of this card very easily because after combat, if you won, you deal a damage to each fighter adjacent to She-Hulk, and since you're a solo fighter, you don't have to worry about accidentally damaging your sidekicks like Bigfoot sometimes has to worry about with Jackalope. But yeah, green energy is just insane. It's only a 1 value boost, so it's definitely not something you want to be throwing, and it's not something you want to be boosting maneuvers with. You definitely want to use this as a combat card because it is very, very strong. So next card is Cease and Desist. This card is really cool. It's very interesting because it's kind of the feint of her deck because it says immediately cancel all effects on your opponent's card, but this is a 1 value instead of the standard 2 value from a feint. So if you're defending with this, you're taking even more damage than you normally would throwing a feint on defense. But it says during combat, if you're attacking, the value of this card is 4 instead. So an offensive feint that is a 4 value, but a defensive feint that is a 1 value is a really cool and interesting trade-off in my opinion. And this is one of the cooler cards in this deck. Because like if you were to throw this into a Lady Justice, I know that wouldn't happen because it'd be a mirror match, but you'd be dealing 4 damage. And there are other cards similar to Lady Justice like Bewilderment that you can offensive feint a 4 value attack over a Bewilderment, and that's just crazy. But then again, if Arthur is boosting an attack and you want to feint, you could be throwing a 1 value feint into an Excalibur, which is 5 damage to you, and that's also crazy. So just the dynamics of this card I think is really cool, whether it's on offense or defense, but there are definitely matchups and certain times where you want to use this both offensively and defensively. So really, really cool card. Also, you can chuck it for 2 auto damage if you feel like you don't need the cancels in the matchup. That's perfectly fine. Next card, Nerve Cluster Strike, only a 1 value boost, 3 value versatile, 3 copies in the deck. Immediately, if She-Hulk is adjacent to the opposing fighter may not leave their space this turn. So it's kind of like a Terrifying Roar, but not quite as good because only the opposing fighter can't leave the space. She-Hulk can still get pushed away with something like a Rending Shot or a Leap Away or a Skirmish. And also, She-Hulk has to be adjacent to the opposing fighter. So if she's getting attacked from ranged, Nerve Cluster Strike will just be a blank 3, which is pretty bad. But more often than not, you can get this card to trigger because if the opponent is ranged, you can just maneuver up as She-Hulk and end your turn adjacent to them, which means if they want to attack first action, they risk attacking into a Nerve Cluster, and if they want to maneuver first and then attack, well, then they're only within probably a 1 maneuver range. So Nerve Cluster is just really, really threatening. The fact that she can halt your movement and stick you in place with this, or potentially cancel an attempt at a movement effect on a second action attack. These two cards in combination are very good for keeping the opponent next to you or at least close to you for She-Hulk's turn to be able to throw something with ability, and if adjacent, maybe even pull off a Savage She-Hulk attack. So Nerve Cluster is a very, very threatening card that the opponent definitely has to play around. Last card for combat wise is going to be Legalese. After combat, if you won the combat, your opponent chooses whether you both draw a card or both discard a card, and if you lost the combat, you make the choice instead. So it's always going to either make both players draw or both players discard, and if you win the combat with Legalese, the opponent chooses, but if you lost, which is more likely because it's only a 2-value versatile, then you get to make the choice. And you making the choice is obviously much better than the opponent making the choice because Legalese is kind of a sleeper card. It can be very, very deadly, making the opponent discard when they don't want to, or giving you card draw when you need it, when you're being pressured. So it's a pretty good card overall. 3 copies in the deck. It's one of the weaker cards in the deck, but still better than a regroup by far, I would say. All right, then we get into the schemes. So the first one, Leap Towards. This is probably the key scheme of the deck. It moves She-Hulk up to 4 spaces. She can move through opposing fighters. Then if she's adjacent to an opposing fighter, you gain an action. So this is how you can set up Savage She-Hulk while it not technically being your first action because you gain the action with Leap Towards. So first action, play Leap Towards. You leap through the opponent's sidekicks up to the hero. You're adjacent. You gain the action, so you still have 2 actions available. You throw Savage She-Hulk. There's your mind game of is it the Omega or is it the Savage? Do they want to feint or value block? And Leap Toward just facilitates that very, very well. And interestingly enough, this can also be used as a pass to leap away from the opponent, and as long as you're not adjacent to anybody, then you won't gain the action. So then it is a pass. And so that can be very good for certain fatigue end games. And with 2 copies in the deck, this card is just super versatile. Definitely one of the better cards in the deck and kind of part of the glue that holds everything together here. Then we see another movement scheme, which is very good. Jennifer Walters, Esquire. Place She-Hulk in a starting space, then you draw a card, gain an action. So the opponent also has to play around starting spaces, which is cool for a positioning aspect because they don't want to end adjacent to a starting space because then you can play Jennifer Walters and then they're in that bad situation of the coin flip again between Savage or Omega. So you definitely don't want to end adjacent to starting spaces as the opponent, but also there's just more, considerations that you can make the opponent have for positioning the better because then it's more likely that they are going to make a misplay or just make the wrong call in certain situations. This card is good also for just warping to a starting space and then doing a single maneuver and preventing you from having to boost or maybe like getting behind a wall of sidekicks so you can surprise the opponent by getting in there for an attack. It's just really, again, very versatile of a card and quite good. And the last card in the deck is Double Jeopardy. This card is good in certain matchups. It feels amazing when you're being pressured because you draw 2 and you heal 2. So to have healing on top of extra card draw, insanely good. And then in those matchups where you're not being pressured and you're playing a fatigue game, it's got a 2 boost value, so you can just throw it at the opponent for 2 auto damage. So the inclusion of this card is just super, super good. I don't think the card itself is always great. Depends again on the matchup and the situation, the game state. But in general, just this card existing is crazy, and it makes me very frustrated when I'm trying to pressure her down with a character like maybe Genie or, I don't know, Black Panther or T-Rex or something, and she just draws 2 and heals 2, and that totally, helps flip the tempo around, and it's very, very frustrating. So, really, really good card. But overall, again, you can see this deck. There's not a ton of high boost values, so Savage She-Hulk is the only card that's going to let you move 5 other than your movement schemes. So the schemes are crucial for moving around, giving extra mobility. The Savage She-Hulk can also be thrown at the opponent simply for 3 auto damage and then smack with an Omega, which again, they still have to value block or feint, and so that's still a bunch of damage and a huge threat. So Savage is just ridiculous. The fact that Sensational can recycle things like Savage is ridiculous. You can cycle. A play I like to make is sometimes early game you just leap towards and then you smack with a Sensational. If they feint, cool, you got 2 damage. And if they don't, if you won the combat, you can recycle that leap towards that you just used. And again, it's that mind game of is it the Savage or is it the Omega? And it could always be a Sensational, which is pretty good, or maybe a Cease and Desist. So there's a lot of coin flip mind games that come up in combats with She-Hulk, which can be huge in determining the course of the game. Again, though, the biggest thing, it's all about initiative. So you really, really need to, as the She-Hulk player, try to force the initiative onto the opponent, because if you're constantly having to chase after them, you might have a bad time because you don't have the best boost values yet again to chase after them, and you have only a limited number of movement schemes. Once those are gone, you can get kited just really, really hard. So you're going to have to waste a bunch of cards boosting, and there might be turns where you simply can't reach the opponent when you want to, and so you're going to have to double maneuver. That might cause overdraws, which again is more wasted cards. And in that case, you're really going to have to rely on Sensational, getting those extra recursion cycling off so that you can increase your deck size and not just burn out of everything. But again, Lady Justice, you have whenever they counterattack you, that'll help even up the deck counts for fatigue purposes and help try to force the initiative on the opponent. And it seems like she has spike problem off the bat. Like just on paper, it looks like she's going to have to constantly approach the opponent, and all of her cards are kind of do nothing because you can't force the initiative on the opponent. And that's what happens with Spike, but it definitely does not happen with She-Hulk. I will tell you that from experience. She's very, very strong. She's got a really, really solid fatigue game. She's got tons of health. She's got ridiculously strong threatening attacks and tons of tough calls you got to make against her. So she's definitely no Spike by any means. She's really, really good, surprisingly enough. So that's She-Hulk for you. Let's go ahead and move on to the next fighter, being Elektra. All right, so I've actually already covered Elektra back in the Medusa versus Elektra matchup, so make sure you go check that one out if you want a more detailed breakdown of Elektra. But I'm sure most of you probably already know all about this menace. Real quick, we'll just take a quick look at her character card, but she starts with 7 health, which is very low, and she is melee, but she's got 4 sidekicks being the hand, and they can be very annoying. They don't have many cards that they can play, but they're a bunch of bodies that the opponent has to get through, so she puts up this wall of the hand. And then when she dies the first time, she gets to resurrect with 9 health, and then it triggers certain effects on some of her cards that weren't active during that first life. And she's famous for the resurrection combo, which she can use a card called the Fist, which is used by the hand, and once they attack with it, they can kill themselves off to get the fist back to hand and gain an action. So if you surround with a bunch of hand members, then you can just attack, attack, attack with the fist. And preceding that is Mesmerize, which lets you look at the opponent's hand and then discard a card and gain an action. So you play your 2 Mesmerize on Resurrect. You discard both of their best defenses, like their Feint and whatever other good defense they have. You surround them with the hand, and then you just attack a bunch of times with the fist and finish it off with a 6 from Elektra herself. So that's the Resurrection combo, but typically she can play towards that or fatigue. But yeah, go check out that other episode if you want a full detailed breakdown of Elektra. There should be a little card up in the top. You can click and check that out if you want. But let's jump right into the key interactions for this matchup. And one of the biggest things, as in most She-Hulk matchups actually, is going to be the coin flip interactions between Savage She-Hulk and Omega Threat into the opponent's defensive options. So if you use something like a leap towards scheme for She-Hulk, and then you're essentially attacking with your first action, attacking into Elektra, Elektra has to think, well, is it Savage or Omega? Now, if it's Savage, Elektra wants to throw the Cloaked in Shadow, which is the feint, right? But if it is Omega and a 5 hits over the 2, that really hurts Elektra. That's 3 health gone already, down to 4 health, just in that one interaction. So that is huge. Now, you can throw Snake Root as Elektra to full block a Savage, but also if it ends up being Omega, then Omega is going to punish, at least with the discards, over the Snake Root, killing off the hand member. And now the discards don't matter so much against Elektra on her first life, because when she resurrects, everything gets shuffled back in. But you might be able to hit some key cards like the Fist or the Mesmerize that I spoke of, and that can be a win condition for Elektra. When she can't win in fatigue, she often has to win through damage from combo, and so Omega can get lucky and knock some of those combo pieces out of hand so that she doesn't have them immediately upon resurrect, and that can put She-Hulk in a really good spot. So this coin flip interaction is going to be huge, I expect. Now, Elektra does have just a flat 4-value defense she could use with the Psy. That would block Omega the best. But again, if it's Savage and a 9 goes over a 4, that's 5 damage to Elektra, puts her down to 2. That means pretty much she cannot approach and attack She-Hulk at all the rest of that first life, because then she'll die to a simple throw something from She-Hulk's ability if she ends in the zone of She-Hulk. And if she goes in for an attack on She-Hulk, she risks attacking into the nerve cluster to keep her in place and guarantee that that throw something ability will trigger and be able to kill Elektra. So Elektra really can't afford the Savage She-Hulk to go off. But then again, you also risk running into Omega Threat, which could mess you up in a couple of different ways, being either damage over the feint or discards over the snake root. So that's a little tough. So She-Hulk probably wants to find those leap towards early on the first life so that she can put Elektra in a bad spot. And I know that Elektra doesn't typically approach much at all, let alone the first life, especially into somebody like She-Hulk with the throw something ability. But you know, if you're double maneuvering, that's going to run you back in through your deck really quickly. And She-Hulk has ways, as we'll see, to get recursion to keep up in the deck counts. So it puts Elektra in a tough spot either way when She-Hulk can leap towards and throw one of these threatening red attacks. Okay, the next interaction I want to point out is between Sensational and Elektra herself. And this does change a little bit first life to second life, because first life Elektra has Psy to full block it, which obviously is the best option, and Psy into any of She-Hulk's attacks that aren't first action can be very good block. But if it's first action, obviously, like we talked about, it might be the Savage, so that's a little risky. But if it's not first action attack, then Elektra is always safe throwing the Psy on her first life. Otherwise, you have Cloaked in Shadow that you can throw at any time, which is relatively safe, but it is 2 damage Sensational over the Cloaked in Shadow, so that's not great for Elektra. And then Intercept is not going to work first life, but it will work second life as long as you have the Psy to reveal, because then it's a 5-value defense, and that's really good against all of She-Hulk's options, because the most you're going to take is 4 damage from a Savage if it's first action. Otherwise, you're not going to be taking any damage, and that's really good. Um, Snake Root obviously is not great, because Sensational can go into the hand for free, and there's nothing that Elektra can do about it. There's no cancels or any value blocks for the hand, so Sensational will guarantee to trigger and get you that recursion, which can be crucial in the matchup. And so also, if She-Hulk thinks that Elektra might throw a Snake Root, she can throw a Sensational on offense to try and punish that Snake Root play, and that's a big win for her. Now, Sensational, if it is canceled, is tough, because She-Hulk might struggle to win in fatigue against Elektra if all the Sensationals are canceled. Now, if you can get enough Sensationals on the first life, it's pretty easy. Like I said, just throw Sensationals on the hand. But if you're throwing it on Elektra, it can be risky. And also, second life, you risk your Sensationals getting ripped out with the Mesmerizes to not go for a combo win condition, but a fatigue win condition from Elektra, just by stopping the recursion and playing the typical Elektra game plan of running away and forcing your opponent to exhaust by boosting and just wasting all their cards with maneuvers and whatnot, and not dealing any real damage. So typical Elektra gameplay can still work, but Sensational is the way around that, and it is guaranteed on the hand. So in that case, Elektra is going to want to kill off the hand as quick as possible using the fist, because if you can kill off the hand, then they're no longer a liability sitting around on the board for the Sensational free cycles. But of course, She-Hulk does have some cancels, so you know, it's gonna be an interesting game, because Elektra, I think, has a couple of win conditions and is gonna have to pick which one to play towards based on the game state. All right, so speaking of the fist, it's really weird, right? Because Elektra kind of wants them around to body block towards fatigue, but also wants to kill them off so that there are no free sensational cycles in fatigue. And also, if she's going for the combo win condition, you're going to want to kill them off just to gain the actions and get that damage. Now, Mesmerize obviously is the facilitator of either of these options, because you can either rip out the combo breaker defenses that She-Hulk has to go for the combo kill, or at least get a big chunk of damage and hope to finish it out with some sixes. Or you can Mesmerize the Sensational to cut off the cycling chains that She-Hulk can do by getting those cycles off on the hand. So Mesmerize is a key component in each, but the fist There's only a couple of ways that She-Hulk can stop an actual combo. So you have your cancel, which is a one value cancel. She-Hulk will take 2 damage, but that's not a big deal because that's much better than taking the fist over and over and getting upwards of 5, 8, 10 damage, right? 2 damage is nothing there when you have 20 starting HP anyways. Green Energy, though, is a huge combo breaker because it will win the combat against the fist and deal a damage to every fighter adjacent to She-Hulk. So if Elektra and the fist, or the hand members rather, surround She-Hulk and go for that combo kill, Green Energy shuts that down real easy because it's just going to pop all of the hand, and therefore they're not able to use the fist effect to return it back to the hand and gain an action, cutting off the combo chain right there, quick and easy, and dealing a damage to Elektra in the process if she happens to be adjacent as well. So that is a massive punish. So Mesmerize definitely wants to knock out Green Energy if Elektra is actually going for combo. But if she is wanting to kill them off just and play towards fatigue, then you can be fine with Green Energy. You're almost happy in that case because you're going to kill off all the hand, and then you don't have to worry about them as a liability anymore. So it's an interesting dynamic here, like I said, between which win condition Elektra wants to go for, what she wants to mesmerize in those certain cases, and how the hand and the fist are going to interact with She-Hulk and her defenses. And finally, the last interaction I want to go over real quick is Lady Justice. Now, this card is usually an incredible defense for She-Hulk, but in this matchup, you only really want to play this during the second life of Elektra because on the first life, it's not really as impactful since she's just going to shuffle everything back in. Now, if you are forced to use this on the first life, maybe you need to for some reason, you might get lucky and hit either the fist or the mesmerize, and that can definitely help you out avoiding combo. But in general, She-Hulk really wants to hold this card until the second life, if at all possible. All right, so overall, if I had to guess, I'm going to put my money on She-Hulk because I just think that being able to cycle Sensational over and over guaranteed on the hand, similar to the Daredevil or the Luke matchups against Elektra, I think that's crucial, getting that recursion involved because then Elektra can't just solely rely on fatigue gameplay and it forces her to play a little bit differently, and that makes things uncomfortable for her because combo kill is somewhat reliable because your deck is so small, it's really easy to find the combo pieces and set that up. But it does give your opponent time to try to assemble their combo breaker defenses. And in the case of She-Hulk, even if she doesn't have the perfect defenses at the time for combo, she has 20 starting health, and that's just massive. So I really don't see Elektra killing She-Hulk with combo alone. And I don't see Elektra winning in fatigue either. So I really do think She-Hulk probably has a great matchup against Elektra. But then again, Elektra is still Elektra, and you can never really count her out. When you think you might have a winning matchup against her, sometimes it just doesn't turn out to be the case. So I'm really excited to actually try this out and see how it works. They may both be scumbag characters in the end, but at least it'll be an interesting science experiment here to find out who is favored in this matchup. So let's not wait any longer. We'll jump on over to the games and see what happens versus She-Hulk versus Elektra. Welcome everybody to matchup of the month for September. This one is the battle of the scumbags here because we got She-Hulk versus Elektra. Elektra is an absolute menace in the game. Everybody knows that. She has been for quite some time. And She-Hulk is definitely a newer menace added in the Brains and Brawn set pretty recently with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. And I personally despise both of these characters, so
Me
I don't
too.
know how this is gonna go. But with me, as always, is Chad. How you doing, Chad?
I'm doing great. I wish it could be under better circumstances. I'd honestly rather play Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange. I'm excited to see what happens for science. I just there have only been a few fighters that have. I think you've had me record 2 videos for fighters that we've already had.
Mm-hmm.
Like Medusa Electra, and then we had Medusa Genie, for example. So we had Medusa again. I think Sherlock for Sherlock Sattler, then Sherlock versus Squirrel Girl,
Uh-huh.
and then the third one is The third one is Elektra. It's like Medusa, Sherlock, and Elektra. Like, what's going on here, guys?
Yeah, there's a lot of repeating trends here with the top tiers. But yeah, I really don't know how this one's gonna go. I have not played much She-Hulk at all. I've played against her an okay amount throughout the ladder when I was just grinding Black Widow games like crazy, and that matchup is horrible. But I don't think anybody has too much Elektra experience because nobody spends the time to test her out because she's always just getting banned in competitive play anyways, and she's so boring to play a lot of times. So I really don't know much about these fighters. I'm sure I'll be able to pilot them well enough, but do you have any insights, any predictions, how you think this is going to go?
Yeah, so my biggest thing always when looking at this is if there's any type of conditional trigger that goes off, for example, like sensational or omega level threat, those are always going off on the hand, right? So those seem like
Guaranteed.
a big liability here in this matchup. So Luke Cage kind of has a similar thing going on, but it's all about, hey, do I actually get both of my still standings for Elektra's first life? Because that's kind of a big question. So it's all kind of related to that. But then finally, when Elektra does die, if she does need to play the game rather than fatigue out and come in for attacks or whatever, just a couple throws and she's dead. So I'm
Yeah,
really curious to see exactly what happens, right? I guess 2 threes thrown at her and she's down to 3 health. So
pretty
very very
scary.
curious to see what comes of this. But if I had to guess, I would probably, if we were on Twitch right now and I had a bunch of points to bet, I would be putting them on She-Hulk.
Okay, okay, interesting. I mean, it makes sense what you said because Electra has two strategies, right? Normally, she has the run away all game and fatigue you out strategy, or she has the, let me go kind of aggressive or try to combo kill you strategy. And with She-Hulk's ability, that counters the aggression strategy so well because Elektra has such low starting HP that she's just going to die so easy with a couple of things thrown at you and a couple of big attacks like those Omegas. And then if she tries to fatigue you out, She-Hulk has the Sensationals. So you kind of cover both ends of the spectrum there. So I really don't see how Elektra wins. I have heard from people who've played this matchup that they have seen Elektra win. I don't know how, but it is Elektra, so you can never count her out, I guess. Um, but we'll see how it goes. I think let's take a look at maps, and we got to get a map that like She-Hulk isn't just absolute garbage on. So no Yukon. We need like nothing ridiculous for She-Hulk either. So no Sanctum. What's something like medium-sized? Like, do you think maybe I don't know something like T-Rex Paddock or um,
T-Rex Paddock is extremely good for throwing things,
that is true. There's no zone breaks except for the one right here.
but I do love Rex Paddock.
Oh, I know you do. But is there anything better, like still slightly small, but nothing
So
really,
we're
right?
looking for a small one, like move four. You're thinking?
I mean, we could do Sunnydale. Yeah, move four, I guess
That would
is what I
work.
was thinking. Sunnydale's pretty nice. Obviously, it's
I
a
like.
go-to neutral, right? But it's a move four center as well as like once you go out to the side, it's far apart, so it kind of gives maybe a
Let's try
little for
that.
both. That
And
sounds
she
good.
can. The
No, this is interesting. We should bring this up. I think She-Hulk is one of the fighters who actually likes to go second, similar to Little Red oftentimes because Little Red starts with the wild card in basket. So when you force the initiative on the opponent, they have to attack into your wild, which is a good start. And then I think Jekyll and Hyde really wants people to approach him as well for similar reasons where you just want to be able to smack them as Hyde, and if they're running away the whole time and chasing, that's not very good. So I think She-Hulk because you want the initiative on the opponent to approach you so that you can get your ability off throwing things at them. I think she actually likes to start second. So maybe making you go first is a bad thing this time.
hmm, interesting. We'll see.
But we'll see, yeah.
I guess next time around I'll go the other way. So we'll get both sides regardless.
Yeah, true. All right, let's see what...
But yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. Same with Spider-Man, although nobody's playing Spider-Man. But Spider-Man and Doctor Strange actually also loves to go second.
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
Interesting.
because he does have to engage in like he does have a crazy fatigue game, but he gets there through a crazy value game in the early parts of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So he does need to engage in a bunch of combats early, from my experience.
Okay.
So he prefers to go second, so that that first kind of combat initiation is on your opponent, and then he can attack, maneuver,
Mm-hmm.
and then 5 of those around, and then he doesn't really have to play the game anymore.
Yeah. All right. I'm definitely gonna mulligan this. Keeping spooky. Look at this trash, dude.
Oh yeah, that is awful.
I
Holy
cannot,
cow.
especially going second. Like, if you just want to come off
Your right hand comes off.
and like combo me turn 1, I don't want
Seems-
this.
Seems pretty bad. Yeah.
I have multiple ways to stop combo though, right? I have the green energies, which will kill off the hand so they don't gain the action. I have my feint, which yeah, it's a 1 value, but I have so much starting health that that's not really a big deal. So I guess those are what I'm looking for here.
All right. You good?
Yeah, change your color and then we're good to go.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
There you go.
All right, sounds good. Good luck. Have fun.
You too, man.
All right, so my thought process, I really do think that a fatigue-based strategy is probably going to be problematic. And I did see you mulligan, but I think we're just going to try something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think I want to get Elektra close-ish. So let's see, is that true? I think so.
Probably.
So, yeah.
Obviously just not in the zone.
All right, I'll attack you with this one.
Okay, starting off strong. Which one again?
Oh, this one.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, this one is what I said.
That one? Okay. Let's do... We got a feint.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm so lucky I had that, man.
I know.
That could have been so brutal. All right. So my go. I'm going to... I don't want to throw anything at the hand. That just seems like a complete waste. I actually want them alive, I think. So that they can be cycled off of with the sensationals and whatnot. So let's do an attack on this guy.
Okay, take it.
Okay. Alright, we'll roll a d4. 2. And reroll on a 4. 2 again. What do we get?
My 2 cards I was thinking about throwing instead of this one.
Wow, double ninjutsu, huh? Okay. Now, it just sucks that the discard isn't really going to matter too much in the long run because of your reshuffle, but it is what it is.
You had to get out.
Yeah. So we'll go 1, 2, and you can go.
I'll maneuver. Maneuver again. All right, yep.
All right, you're on the starting space there. Let's do a maneuver. Go 1, 2. Let's maneuver again. I wanted to go here to take center, but then I'm standing next to a zone break, which is not great. So I think I want to end here instead, and you can go.
All right, I'll maneuver. I mean, I really do think I'm going to have problems.
I don't see how Elektra wins this, honestly.
So I'm going to boost with a snake grip.
Okay.
I'm gonna have this guy attack you with this.
The guy on the starting space. I guess let's do this one. So I'll take one, draw one. So you get your fist back, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm taking it back and I'm attacking again with this guy.
Oh. Well, dang. I guess there's nothing I can do about that other than... I guess we'll do this.
Okay.
So it kills him off. I actually don't really want to kill them off, because now, like, I don't know. Now I'm stuck chasing you. I guess ninjutsus are gone. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And it pops the other guy too. Deals 1 damage to each adjacent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know if that's good for me or not. I kind of want to keep him around, but
Yeah, I'm cool with that, actually. That's pretty cool.
yeah. All right, so it's my turn.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one of these.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leap towards you, so I gain an action.
Mm-hmm. I regret not going here.
Yeah, that would have been good. Let's make an attack. First action. Okay, so I get to choose, huh? We
Mm-hmm.
either both draw or both discard. Let's both discard. I'm gonna dump this. Got rid of your 6, huh? Alright, let's attack again.
Take.
Ah, dang. I mean, 3 is still good, but it's not the best. Alright, your turn.
Yeah. I'll maneuver.
I'm very happy I hit those ninjutsus.
Maneuver. Yeah, that was it.
You want to go
And
next to
you're
a
up.
starting space, buddy?
I guess if you have it. 3-3. You're right. Thank you.
Yeah. Alright, it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Let's maneuver. We'll go 1, I guess. Ooh, there's a lot of zone breaks in the center of this map. That's kind of annoying for me. I guess let's go 1, 2. Let's go here instead. Let's maneuver again, and we can actually just go over here. And now it's your turn.
Maneuver. Do I boost? I will boost with a hand of red.
Okay.
And then I will maneuver again. Boost the whirlwind.
Dang. All right.
Alright, then you're up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are way too far away. We'll maneuver. 1, 2. Let's maneuver again. Yeah, that seems good. Your turn.
Alright, so you have the scheme, huh?
What scheme?
You know what scheme.
What scheme?
You wouldn't go here unless you had the starting space scheme.
Why do you say that?
Because you're not centered anymore.
Well, the only spot I couldn't reach is here in 4.
Yeah.
I'm paying attention to the zone breaks. I don't want you to approach me here.
I see. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. When you were like, well, I guess if you
Did
have
you-
it, I had it here.
You had it? You had it?
I had it right there, and I was about to use it too. And just
Okay, so then I'm
hope.
good to know. I'm happy to know that if I had boosted here, you could have just used it as well
Yeah. Yeah.
on that previous.
Right.
So that's good.
All right. So draw 1, gain 1 here.
But now I regret not keeping the 6 and just taking 6 to my 3 when you
Yeah.
had 1 card.
Yep. And then dealing the 6 back. Yeah. That would have been great. Okay. So then I'll maneuver here. We'll go right here. And then we will... You have 4 in hand. Let's attack. Dang it. You got one. Alright, your turn.
I'll maneuver. So here's an interesting thing. Normally, the meta is you discard your mesmerizes, right?
Just to
Well,
have extra cards
you
in
save
deck?
your mesmerizes for the combo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm worried that you're just waiting for me to send my guys back, and then you pop them with Omega and potentially hit my stuff. So I'm wondering if it makes sense to boost with them here. Generally, I would say no. But,
Just so they're out of
I
your
think I'll
hand.
do this instead. We'll do that. And the reason I'm boosting with all of this is just to like increase my deck size.
Right.
I'll maneuver. Ooh. So if I want, I can boost one more. You can leap towards me, potentially kill me. But if you do that, I think I might be okay with you using your last leap toward.
Yeah.
So I think I'll do that, and we'll see what happens.
My turn?
Mhm.
Okay. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna maneuver. You have what? A Sigh and an Intercept and a Cloaked in Shadow. And a Snake Root, which is dead. I think I just go 1, 2, and maneuver again. And this time we take center. Alright, your turn.
You still have all 3 Lady Justices. So like those are gonna hurt second life, which is good on you to save them. I feel like even if I'd like die soon here or after, even though I would be up a couple cards in deck count, so much has to go my way for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'll maneuver. I'll attack.
Attacking as your last action, huh? We don't want to get smacked with a 6. So I take 2.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
That was the only defense I didn't want you to have. Just because
Well,
I'd prefer to get all the other ones out of the way.
yeah. I mean, I only have 1 more of these for the hand, but then again, you kind of want them gone, so...
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. It's so funny how you just want them. They're just disposable. You want them all gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so I'm just going to maneuver because I can't really do much, right? Let's just maneuver again, and we'll stay where we're at, and we'll discard Legalese. And your turn.
So if I combo with you at the hand, I feel like Lady Justice is gonna. So I will do 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. So then I could do here for green, and I could do here for gray. So I think I'm good with that.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to maneuver.
It's interesting because you're up in deck by like 4 on me right now, but I'm also up in hand on you by 2, so it's really not too much of a difference in overall value.
And also, I don't know if you've checked recently, but you have 6 more health than me.
Yeah, that's a big thing too, so even if it makes it to fatigue, that's 3 maneuvers.
Yeah.
Which is a full
Okay,
turn
I'm
and a
good
half.
there.
Alright. So what do I do? Maneuver and attack. Dang it. I wanted you to snake root so bad. Alright, your turn.
So I know you're just going to throw something at me or stop my movement if I And
She-Hulk's
then
so
maneuver.
annoying. She's so annoying, man.
What?
She-Hulk is so annoying.
That's so true.
The stupid nerve cluster is so dumb.
Yeah, don't get me started on nerve clusters, man. All right, I'll maneuver. All right, I'll do that, and it'll be your turn. Oh, wait. We'll do that.
Okay. My turn, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Maneuver. What can we boost with? Probably this. 1, 2, 3. And let's attack the hand with this.
Take it.
Alright, we'll do a D8. Number 2. And then a D6. Number 5. Okay. Pretty alright. That one at least. Don't care too much about the intercept, but your turn. Would have liked to have hit one of your mesmerizes.
That I don't have.
Uh-huh. They were bottom 2 when you died.
Yeah, you know it. Maneuver. I think I'll do that, and it'll be your turn.
Alright. I'll maneuver. Do I run away? Is there ever a world in which I run away here? Because you don't have passes. You have mesmerize, but like it's not a pass. Let's go 1, 2. Let's maneuver again. 1, 2, and let's boost with... I think this is fine. And it's your turn.
Maneuver.
I also wanted to... I was hoping you would do this now so that it's before I draw my sensational.
Yeah, but you didn't know that, right?
What?
Because you double maneuvered away.
Right, there's a chance I draw into it, but
that
like...
last... Yeah.
Still felt good as long as I didn't draw into it.
Okay, what do I care about? I think it's either Leap Toward or the Feint.
You don't think the savages are gonna hurt you?
Oh, they will. But I don't think that matters, right?
I guess right, because then otherwise I'll just throw a 2 at you, I guess. Well,
yeah.
3 versus 2.
I just mean that I can't really worry about that. I think I have to kill you, right? Even if we just deck out immediately here with our differences in deck counts, which is slowly decreasing.
Yeah.
You're still going to like absolutely destroy me in health. So
True.
I gotta get rid of a defense, I know.
Yeah. Well, Leap Toward then is not probably what you want.
So, but I was wondering if I wanted to ditch green energy too. Oh, this is tricky.
Then I don't have many good value blocks anymore. Like Lady Justice is a... who knows?
It's a crapshoot, that's the only one.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get rid of green energy.
Yeah, that seems good.
Alright, and I have one more action. I'll maneuver a second time. Okay, we'll go here. And I will ditch a whirlwind. And it's your turn.
Okay. I will maneuver. Do I ever just double maneuver? That seems fine, actually. Or do I leap towards as a pass? Maybe I just come up and attack you. I'll do that. I'll just attack.
Oh, so did you top tag it? He'll take it.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Your turn. I wanted the pass.
Yep.
I was like, I could leap towards as a pass, or I could just attack as a pass.
I'll maneuver. No attacking.
Yeah, we gotta do this. Oh, no. Crap. Well, I take 2 there. That was good. Okay, and my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Spooky.
I generally never recommend the offensive feint.
That was really good right there, though. So we maneuvered 1, 1, and we maneuver again, and you can go.
Maneuver. 6 cards to your 4. I'm basically wondering if I can wait to go to deck out so that Lady Justice is useless.
Right. I mean, it's definitely reasonable, because then I only have, what? A Nerve Cluster, a Feint, and a
That's your highest
Legalese.
defense. Yeah,
Like, that's terrifying.
So what can you do? But if I double maneuver, I go down to 5. You maneuver pass. You go down to 3. I double maneuver down to 3. You double maneuver down to 1. I double maneuver down to 1. You maneuver take 2, and then I go in. Seems problematic because then you just throw stuff to end my life and
Yeah.
fatigue. So you can like throw stuff, attack, run,
Mm-hmm.
or just throw stuff. Yeah, and if I don't feint, you throw stuff, then you attack with your other 9, and then it's pretty rough. Let's boost with a sigh.
Okay. You fool, you just turned off your intercepts.
I know.
Could you not? Could you go away? This is gonna hurt. Yep. Brutal.
Alright, we'll have this little guy attack you. What?
What do we get? Give me something good. Oh, come on! Oh my gosh. Literal garbage.
The worst one.
Literal garbage, dude. Oh, I even take a damage there. That's so
That was like
bad.
best case scenario for me.
Oh my gosh. That might make you win. So
Maybe.
bad. Holy cow.
Oh, let me 1 sec.
I mean, I think you're winning in general after this turn.
I'm in a good spot, I think, for sure. This guy is going to attack you.
All right. What do I have left in? I have 1, 2 defenses out of 4 cards. So it's a 50-50 if I use Legalese. 50-50 on drawing another defense, or I just take the 3 that I know is a 3. All right, let's do it. I'll take the 1. We'll each draw.
Now the question is, do I kill him?
Oh, true. You don't even have to kill him off. That's true.
So that I can keep a snake root, basically.
Right. Well, but then you end your turn right there, and then
I mean, that was always going to happen, yeah.
I could attack him.
It's true. So the thing is that last sensational, I was hoping to obviously catch that with my if I could. I think that's still going to cause problems because I got rid of my Psy, which did turn off my intercept, but I again think this turn was my only path to victory.
Yeah, that did take away 2 of the defense options for the Sensational
So,
in
but
one.
I think I needed to do that. You are just bleeding for defense, so I think that's my key here. So I think I do kill.
Kill him. Okay.
Okay, and then last action. So you could have gotten a Nerve or a Lady Justice
Mm-hmm.
or a Sensational or your
The
favorite.
stupid double jeopardy, yeah.
So what do I need to have happen in order to win? Like, what do I need to have had you draw? And do I just plan on that?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, fascinating. You could have thrown this at my dude and then still hit me with a 9.
Yeah. Like that would do anything. I guess it would, yeah, it would turn off the snake route, right?
Turning off Snake
Yeah,
Root.
yeah, that's true. That is true.
Alright, I'll attack you.
Now I gotta think. Is it the stupid little feint bait thing to, like, hit Lady Justice and then get out of the zone because it moves 3? Or is it the 6 just to say, I'm gonna damage you no matter what? Or is it the ninjutsu, which is just the worst of the options, I believe. It's either got to be the feint or the 6. Gonna take it. Oh, it was the ninjutsu. Okay, that's annoying. I wanted you to be out of your feints.
Yep.
Ugh. Okay then, my turn, huh?
I think I'm good there.
Okay, so what do we do? Do we warp and leap and smack? You have 1 feint left, 1 ninjutsu, and 1 intercept. Those are your only defenses? 3 of them. Wow, you're also hurting on defenses, huh?
Yes.
Crazy. So otherwise I double maneuver and you have to double maneuver as well and overdraw. That seems good. Maneuver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maneuver and you can go.
Hmm.
Okay. My turn?
Mhm.
Well, now is when we do this. Draw, warp here. Leap toward. I wonder
Can
if
you
I
show
should
me?
have just... I wonder if I should have just, like, used this as a pass and forced the initiative on you.
You're saying right now?
Yeah. I didn't math it all out, but I don't know.
You can
It
undo
felt...
it if you want.
Nah. That... Instinctively, that felt bad. It felt like a losing play.
It is.
Okay.
So I think you made the right call. Just so you know, you would have had to approach me before that, and if my deck is empty, double sixes kill you.
Yeah. Right.
So it was the wrong
Because
play.
I'm at 8 and you're at 9, you get an extra. Plus, I was already down in deck, so yeah.
So you would have drawn your last one,
And then,
passed, then I double maneuver here. You do your thing, you come in, I feint, I double sixes, you lose.
yep. Okay.
I'm good there.
Yep. So I will attack with what? I just have to hope you don't have your feint, I guess. If I hit you with a 9, how bad does that hurt you? Pretty dang bad. Pretty dang bad. Yeah. I'll attack. Yep. Stupid movement tacked onto that. So annoying. I was like, he's probably going to faint, but at least I get the 1 damage, which will put you at an even health total for fatigue purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Although you're not even close to fatigue. Your turn. I don't think I can win this.
Your next action.
Oh, I definitely lose. Because now I can't even reach you. I mean, I can, but... Alright, go ahead.
So I think I just double maneuver so that your defense sucks.
Yeah, and then I move down to 4. Well, yeah, double 6s will kill me next turn.
Yeah. I maneuver. Because you don't have any schemes left, right?
I had double
Right.
jeopardy.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. So as long as I don't end in your zone, I think I'm fine.
Right.
And you don't have any like after combat movement, so I'm
Nah.
not missing anything. Biggest thing for you is like a sensational, but then again, my double 6s kills.
Yeah,
me.
your counterattack kills.
And so you can't like hop away. So I'll boost with a snake root.
Yep.
Go there, and it'll be your turn.
Yep, I'll maneuver 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll boost with the double jeopardy. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll attack.
We'll throw an intercept.
Yep. So I'll get back another sensational, sure. And it's your turn.
Yeah, I'll attack you.
We'll go nerve. I take 3. Health differential.
That's right.
Ouch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stupid Lady Justice. What a bad card, right? Am I right? Oh man, what a terrible card. What a terrible character. Ugh.
Wild.
Yeah, it's so weird that like the dynamic with the hand, it's like I don't want you to combo me, which you did, and I want to cycle off them, which I didn't. But like
Yeah.
on one hand I want them dead, on the other hand I want them alive, and same thing with you, and it just didn't work out in my favor.
Yeah, well, you didn't see them before they were all dead, right? These on the first life.
Right.
Because the first life is so much scarier
Yeah.
because of the second life.
The second life is so much
because
scarier.
it mesmerizes,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, these first life would help so much because then I can just keep a bigger deck size when I'm like not under any pressure, any real pressure anyways.
Hey.
Second life, like these two, this was so good.
Yes.
The movement on that
game
is
winning.
huge.
Game winning.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you canceled one of my Lady Justices and dealt me 2, so that was a difference of 4 like health essentially, right? And it also got you out of the zone, which saved you 3 more health. So it was a difference of like 4 health, 5 health. Yeah.
Yeah, and an
Crazy.
extra card.
5 health
So
and a
you
card.
can count that as 2 more health if you want.
Like 7
Right?
health. Yeah, huge. Just a massive swing right there just from that one attack over the Lady Justice. And also using it on defense right here at the final turn. It's just huge.
This card always makes me the most angry when playing against Elektra.
Is it really?
Well, just because it's like the most crazy like upgrade of all of her cards, in my opinion. I mean, this is
Other
obviously
than
really good
Mesmerize,
too.
yeah, but
in my opinion, that faint movement always seems to like destroy me.
it really does, dude. In the endgame scenarios, it is so good.
And
So good.
What? Elektra makes it to endgame scenarios.
Who would have thought, man? Who would have thought? She's only got 7 health and 9 health. Like, that can't ever make it to the end game, right?
She's so great.
Dang. All right, well, I'm happy She-Hulk lost because I hate She-Hulk. I actually hate She-Hulk more than Elektra, so maybe that's controversial, but stupid
I don't
She-Hulk.
know. I know. My Toastus has this whole like poem that he says about
Hilarious.
Dr. Strange, but I hate She-Hulk way more than I hate Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I do too nowadays. I really do. So, all right, well, let's flip it around and let me try Elektra now.
Sounds good. All right, I'm mulliganing.
Alright, let me see what I get.
I had basically what you had there at the end game.
Oh,
I had both
all
both
reds.
Savage She-Hulks. Both yeah, it wasn't great.
Fantastic. What do I want? I want to stop that sensational first life. So I also want the hand to die fast. So I'm gonna mulligan because I want to find some other stuff, not just snake roots.
So I think this is the first like Elektra game that I like never cared about Snake Root.
Yeah, so that first time I threw a sensational during first life, I expected, or was it an omega? Uh,
Uh
Omega or a
Sensational.
sensational? I
Oh
think it was
yeah,
a
it was a
sensational.
sensational into my 4.
Yeah, and I was like, what the heck? I totally expected you to throw a snake root. But my mistake was I should have played the leap towards and then attacked you with the sensational to bait out your snake root, thinking it
Mm,
was the savage.
that's true. I
I
totally would have done
forgot,
that.
yeah, because I just maneuvered. And I was like, well, I'll just attack him and he'll play snake root and then I'll get a free sensational anyways instead of going after the hand and I get rid of a snake root. But I forgot I didn't use the leap towards, which I had in my hand. So like that was my thought process was leap towards him, bait out the snake root, and hit with sensational. But then I just maneuvered, and that's just all out the window because you're like, oh, okay, what's he
That's
gonna
right.
throw? Nothing. My 4 beats everything.
Yeah. I mean, that was honestly my thinking was, you know, it's I'd rather take 1 damage and avoid 2 discards than
Mhm.
let you get whatever you wanted on.
Mhm. I think I hide them all back here.
Yep. I think it is interesting too cuz I don't feel like I want to go first here. So,
I
I
could
mean,
hide one here just so that you don't play your scheme and single maneuver like you could over here. I think that's good.
okay.
All right, you can go. Good luck, have fun.
Yeah, you too. All right, I'll maneuver.
And yeah, like I said, I don't think She-Hulk likes going first in general. It's just
Maneuver.
you don't want the initiative
And
put
her
on you.
boost values are way lower than I remember. What the heck is this?
They're bad, yeah.
All right, you're up. Because I totally would have, I think, just go and kill that guy.
Yeah, you didn't even have a 4. That's pretty
Well,
insane if that's the case.
I do.
Okay,
Not one that I want to spend.
okay. All right, so
It was my 5 boost. I didn't want to lose that.
where do I want all my boys here? Do I just literally want to go like this? Pretty ridiculous.
My boys.
My boys. And then you can, oh, but then I'm in your zone. Oh, I can't end like this.
Whoa.
Well, dang it. Yeah, because you're in the center 4 space too.
Yes,
All right, migrate, boys. Let's maneuver again.
My great boys.
Yes, migrate, boys. Gonna go like that, and you can go.
All right, I'll maneuver. I'll boost with Leolese.
Okay.
Well, hello there.
Hola.
And let's go ahead and attack you with this.
Let's do this one. Let's go here.
And let's both draw.
Okay.
Discards hurt me way more.
True. All right, and it's my turn, huh? Let's maneuver.
Boy,
Go here. Let's have this guy attack. Okay, so you got Hands of Red.
I don't care about first life.
Yeah. We're gonna kill him off.
I guess it's boost value. That's the only thing I care about.
Yeah, right. And then we're gonna have the other little hand guy attack.
Oh, the other little hand guy?
Yep.
Oh, let's fight this one.
Okay. Oh, why am I taking damage?
No idea.
Alright, you're up.
Alright, I'll attack the hand.
The sensational. Yeah, I'll take it. Oh, the Omega. Okay.
I guess that is good for you. Now you can double maneuver, no qualm.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, buddy.
I hate I hate Elektra so
It's pretty garbage.
Yep. I mean, any discards first life really are.
I mean, I was pretty happy with the ninjutsus. They let me land 3 undefended damage, but I got both your ninjutsus, so like defenses are better than, you know, that's what you want to hit.
I see what you're saying, yeah. Yep, you're right.
So then you maneuver.
Alright.
Alright, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Let's maneuver. And let's go 1, 1, 2. Maneuver again. And your turn.
Ty.
What's up, Ty? Who's a good boy? It's a big boy.
He doesn't like that.
He doesn't like that? What dog doesn't like that?
I know. What is this guy?
Oh, your turn.
Alright. Maneuver. I hate this game. What do I even do? I need sensationals, I feel.
That's what my problem was.
So, and it's not worth it for me to send value into you at all.
Right.
Right? Like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. So, I'll go here. Oh, wait. Oh, John, look at his position.
Yeah, look at my positioning.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll maneuver. And here's where I question my morals. Do I just sit here and just overdraw?
Absolutely.
I think maybe I do.
I don't know if that's true, but
like, what do I care? Like, should I make you approach? I don't want to approach you. It's scary. I mean, if you double maneuver, who cares? What do I care?
I guess I should just always like put an asterisk anytime I'm like, I think this fighter beats Elektra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elektra's just an idiot.
Total idiot, dude. It's so dumb.
I just really don't feel like we're playing Unmatched right now.
For real.
My question is, how can I kill these little idiots to maybe give me enough value to outwit this dumb little ninja lady?
Yeah. This is a weird matchup where you don't even care about Snake Root, too. It's weird.
It is.
Alright, your turn.
I mean, hello?
Hello. Nice. Okay. Do I throw an attack that could be whatchamacallit? You know what? Let me see your hand. Because I'm worried about this dumb card right here.
I do have it.
Yeah, you do have it. That's annoying. But hey, this put me down to 5. Now I can double maneuver with no worries.
That's literally the whole game she plays. What deck count am I at?
It's so stupid. Oh man, you don't have any of your schemes, so now I know I can just back off. Let's go.
Exactly, dude.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
Uh, let's let's get out of here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those guys are safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we boost even with what did you have in hand again? Let me see it one more time. All right, you got 2 of the biceps, 2 of the savages, a pen, a justice, and a chop,
Yeah, no schemes and no
and no good reds.
sensational.
Wow, that's so trash.
I think I always forget that about fading Elektra is that unless you have a game plan that can be executed equally as consistently as her, you, it's not like favored for her, like or against her necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, and so what I'm basically saying is like for example, even Daredevil, right? Like if she like if you're not careful about when you're getting your cycles off and when you're drawing your devils, right? It's all related about when you're drawing a specific card in relation to her cards and all this stuff. She can just always play the fatigue game.
Yeah.
She's always got that in her back pocket, which doesn't require her to really draw any cards in any
Yeah,
order.
you just run away. Literally.
Exactly. So
Not like Sherlock. Sherlock can't just run away. He like has to have cards and play things properly. Elektra literally just runs away.
yeah, exactly.
So
So I think
dumb.
that's what maybe I was missing with my perception of how this game played originally.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. What?
Oh, you don't want to boost with your savage? Come on.
Ba-ba, let's go.
Good top deck of trash.
That's right. All right, you're up.
Stay in there.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're gonna let me come up to you without being in the zone, huh?
I guess I don't care. No, I'll go here.
I can still go there.
3.
That's what I was saying. All the centers on this suck because they're all adjacent to
No,
zone
you're
cutoffs.
right. I guess I don't care. I care more about Savage She-Hulk than I do.
Yeah. All right, my turn.
Yep. You
Let's
still have to boost, and
maneuver.
ooh, I get you to spend your cards.
Gladly, buddy. So you didn't have any feints last I checked. You drew 2 cards since then.
You don't know me.
I know you, buddy. Let's boost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I want all of these guys dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, probably. Yeah, that's fine. Have this little dweeb hit ya. Yep. Let's kill him off. Let's have the other dweeb hit ya with the, you know, the same card.
So if I do Nerve Cluster Strike, can you kill him off?
Yes.
Because it says the opposing fighter cannot leave their space this turn.
Yeah, well, I think if I'm defeated, that beats that rule.
Let's just see what happens.
All right, let's
More cards.
bust him out of there. I'm surprised you want cards.
I don't know what I want, John.
All right, and I have one more action. Oh, that's right, I get it back. So let's maneuver. And do I care which spot I go to? No, it doesn't really matter. All right, your turn.
I'll maneuver.
Oh, I should have paid attention to the stupid starting spaces. Dang it. I should have... Well, you were a single maneuver away from that one.
Hello. I'll attack.
So I just don't want you to sensational me, I think. So, I'm going to do that. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Let's maneuver. And and maneuver and boost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can go.
I love this game. I love it so much.
Okay.
Alright, yeah.
Alright. Let's maneuver and boosty boy. I should have been boosting more frequently. Shows I'm not an Elektra player.
I mean, you're still gonna.
I'll maneuver and boost again with this. No, I want to make you boost, right? So that's fine. Your turn.
Maneuver. Boost. Attack you with this.
Bunch of junk. So
If you fate.
yeah, so that's good. Oh, I wouldn't. Right, you're right. I wouldn't discard cards, but okay. So we'll faint. And then I maneuver and I can boost this, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we'll maneuver and we'll boost with. What do I not want when I come back? I guess ninjutsu. So I die and it's your turn. So here's what I have when I come back, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, 17 to 6. What a stupid character.
And you had 7 cards before you started this fatigue end game. And
7
then you just
cards.
maneuvered, boosted, maneuver, boosted, maneuver, boosted, maneuver,
Uh-huh.
boosted. So I was like, oh, he's
So
only going to get
dumb.
13. That's not true.
So dumb.
And I just didn't have the schemes to keep up with you. I haven't seen any leap towards, so couldn't do anything there.
Right? Alright, it's my turn.
Yeah.
So I shuffle everything in. I come down. Where do I want to end up?
A decision point Elektra has to make.
One decision point. Wonderful. All right, so I'm going to maneuver. We'll go 1, 2,
You're stuck with me, buddy. You're
1,
stuck with She-Hulk in this horrible cage of
2.
these dudes.
Horrible cage of these dudes. Great. Like that. We'll maneuver again. Um, Before I move him, let's go there. Let's go there. And then here. Okay. I'm good there. Your turn. She-Hulk smacking the turd. Turtle take it. Yep.
I'll grab it back.
Okay.
All right, here.
Okay. I will maneuver. We'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Maneuver again. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think I boost with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can go like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, your turn.
I'll go here. I'll attack this guy. What is this?
I'll take it. Ooh, that could actually make a difference. Go ahead and roll a d6. 3. Oh, that probably not what you want to see.
Mm-mm.
And oh, that is what you want to see.
Oh,
That's what you want
heck
to
yeah.
see, buddy.
Nice.
Oof. I've thought about using that the last few turns here, but
I
I don't
actually
know.
really like the dynamic these games provide because we're both want to see both fighters lose.
That's so true. All right, and it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to maneuver.
Mhm.
We'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Maneuver again. 1. Maybe I just stay here, actually. Okay, your turn.
Maneuver, boost, and I will attack this guy.
Take. Yep.
And we will shuffle. So this guy dies. So I'm debating taking back actually a Omega
Yeah.
because I feel like that's really helpful for me. But I don't think so. I'll take back itself.
Yeah. Seems like the safe play because if I mesmerize your last one, that's not good. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, you already have more than enough ways to stop them after this little guy dies.
All right, my turn.
Mhm.
Um, I'll maneuver. 1, 2, 1, 2. Maneuver again and boost. And your turn.
Maneuver.
True.
And I'll attack you.
Could definitely be the offensive feint. Yes. All right. We'll go 1, 2, 3.
All right.
All right, and my turn.
Mm-hmm.
I will maneuver. Let's go 1, 1, 2. Maneuver again and boost with this. All right, your turn.
Maneuver. Maneuver. I think I go here, and it's your turn.
Maneuver. Where do I go? 1, 2, and 1. Maneuver. 1, 2, 1, 2. There. And discard that and that. All right, your turn.
I'll maneuver.
Oof. Take it. Yep. That's a lot of cycle. Too much.
What do I take here?
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm wondering about another leap toward.
Yeah.
Taking that back could be good. Allows me to do some fun things.
But it's like now that the hand are dead, what do you do? I
You
mean,
only
I
have one
guess,
way to stop Savage She-Hulk.
yeah. And you also have a huge health lead, I guess I didn't really consider.
I'm wondering if I take the 5 back to just be like, have a crazy trade, a crazy 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure about that. I will take a leap toward back.
Yeah, seems good.
All right, and you're.
All right. I will maneuver. 1, 2. Let's maneuver again. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't reach me. End of turn. I will discard a Sigh and a Snake Root, and you can go.
Am I going to be able to do this? I think you're going to make sure you have your feint, and it's going to be the exact same thing that I had. You also have one more discard. So you can discard my Savage or my last leap towards stopping my thing. So I think I just play this as a pass. Before. Okay, so you can get there with an intercept, which you have 2 of.
And not end in the same zone.
Yeah, that's true. So I think I'll go here and call it good. Because I think if I can throw something at you, I'm in a good spot.
Let's start with this. And I think I get rid of... I don't know, man. You have so much health. I didn't really pay attention to that. It's like I could get your pass, but I don't think I'm winning in fatigue because of how much dang health you have. And then I could get rid of this, but you still have one more. I could get rid of Savage just so I have no worries. That might be the play, actually. If your last card's a nerve cluster, because then I don't
Mm.
have to worry about the 9 and I don't have to worry about the auto damage. We get rid of the Savage, I think. I don't think I
Yep.
win in fatigue. I think I have to approach here, which means I maneuver and I boost with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have to hit you. So you have the cluster, and you have what? The feint?
Cluster, feint, and justice.
Well, that's annoying. They all stop my movement.
Not
Um,
justice, but feint and cluster.
yeah. Alright, let's attack. Wow, you actually threw it. Okay. No damage. I get to jump away. Okay, your turn.
I knew I was only winning this in fatigue, I think. Unlike you're not winning this in fatigue, so I felt like I had to throw that there.
I should have went in way sooner with the little dudes just to kill them off with like the fist card.
Mm-hmm.
I let you get too many sensational cycles.
I think I'll maneuver. And I'll maneuver again. And it's your turn.
Okay. Let's maneuver.
But yeah, getting rid of Savage was your play there. Because otherwise, I keep you next to me and you're in a scary spot.
Mm-hmm. So do I boost here and attack? I don't really have many options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And
So throw that sweet, sweet 4. Bring a guy back for me to munch on.
I'll attack.
Yep.
Alright, your turn.
You see your hand?
Yep.
Yep. Hand. Sigh. Okay. So the question is, do I throw something and run? That's kind of my thought
Mm-hmm.
process.
You got the leap towards, probably. I didn't map it out, but I don't see me winning anyway.
That's fair.
4 cards to 4 cards, 13 health to 9, 1 pass to 0 pass.
I'll throw this at you.
Yep.
And I think, do I go here? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Make
5,
me
6.
boost, yeah. Right? I have to maneuver, obviously, and then I take the 2 damage. And now it's a question of what do I boost with? I'm going to boost with the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to this one. So I deal 1. I get a dude back. Blue or green? Yeah, there. So attacking and it has to be the 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So cancel that. And then you can even just pass. So it's going to be a what? 4 to -1?
Something close to that.
Because I can't reach you, so I double maneuver. And I'll boost just a full solitaire.
Sounds good.
And then you double maneuver, and I maneuver and die. GG.
Holy cow.
Wow.
What
Pretty
a close game.
close. Yeah. I definitely
What I
think.
regret doing there was, I mean, it ended up being the same. I should have kept this and thrown the feint at you, just because this would have made
Yeah.
it so that I would have still done damage over the feint,
True, true.
but it didn't matter.
Right. Yeah, it didn't matter in the end. Yeah, I let you get way too many cycles off. I had the fist combo. I just kept thinking like, oh, what happens when he feints my fist and then he cycles off my dudes? But I let you cycle off my dudes anyways. So I should
Yeah,
have just done that sooner. It also would have been a couple of passes like attacking you. So definitely I think I was in a great spot, and if I would have just attacked sooner with the fist, probably would have been able to win that one.
I think
But
you're right, because even if I feint, which I was going to, and I did have all the pieces you were talking about. So, and I get a pass, right? And that's a card I didn't have to boost with to get to you, because that was a big thing that was happening with me. So, but let's just assume that, let's assume that all the math is even in terms of number of cards and passes and such. Each of those attacks still did 2 damage to me.
right.
So you get me. So I agree with you, because
Yeah.
I got to the end game with 18 health, which
Mhm.
is just like, I mean, killer.
Yeah, 'cause you got the Omegas, you got the Sensationals, all the stuff that I didn't want you to get, you got anyways, and I lost out on passes and damage. So I think you just use the fist as soon as you can, just to
Hmm.
get the little dudes engaging, because then at least if you cycle off them right there when I attacked you first, again, I just got damage and passes. So that's put me in a way better spot than if I just keep running away and you eventually get to them anyways, which is going to happen because I can't block them all off. Because
Hmm.
there's so many things I'm positioning around, right? I'm positioning around first, I can't end in your zone ever, pretty
It's
much.
it's it's so many things,
Yeah.
because that
So
and
that's
then
the
this
biggest
and then
thing.
this.
And then there's this. And then once you use those, I was like, oh, great, I don't have much to worry about. But then I was like, crap, he still has 2 leap towards, which I wasn't considering as much. And yeah, it's just so much movement crap and positioning stuff to worry about that um, you're going to get to the hand anyways.
Hmm.
So yeah, I should have just went in. I felt like I was in a ridiculous advantageous spot when I resurrected and I had like what was it, like
17 cards to my
17 to
6,
6? Dude, and then you stayed at like 5 cards in deck for turn after turn with sensationals. That was
and then
crazy.
after 2 double maneuver turns from you, I was able to hit that mesmerize, which was huge. I hit a 6
Yes.
too, actually, that was pretty big as well.
Yeah.
That 6 would have
Wow.
been super helpful for you.
Yeah, in the end game just to land damage. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that would have been so good. Yeah, you hit some good cards there, and I threw away too much. Like it was kind of junk, but still, I shouldn't have been quite as passive. But um, I just wanted to play Degen Elektra and see if it
I
actually
know,
works.
right? I mean, that's always the test case, right? I mean, it's a good test case.
And It doesn't quite work. It almost worked. Like it can work. You just can't go full degen. You can't literally just run like I did. You need to throw those fists when you get the opportunities, and then I think you're probably in a good spot then.
And I will say, for most fighters that can play degen, it is an intellectual degen.
Yeah.
Like Winter Soldier,
Oh, totally,
Daredevil,
totally.
Elektra, like it very much is one of those, as you mentioned, like considering all these things and these positioning things and boosting and all that stuff. That doesn't mean it's not degen. It just it highlights that it's just. I think why we call it degen is just because it's a way different game than like classic unmatched.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, and it's very much a solitaire kind of game of like, let me position around all of your tools so that you can't do anything,
Right.
kind of a thing. Versus, ooh, if I play this card, how is it going to react? Stuff
Yeah, how
like
does it
that.
interact with your card? Yeah, right.
Versus, it's just like, how do I not get attacked?
How do I do my thing? Yeah.
So,
So, yeah, you're
but
right. But yeah,
yeah, all right.
overall, I mean, we saw each fighter win, so that's cool. I think, what do you think about like the map impact? Do you think it was pretty neutral or did it help either
As
of
you
us?
highlighted, this is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we were able to throw zero things into Elektra shows one, how stupid Elektra is, and then two, maybe the map highlighting. I mean, I guess actually I did throw stuff you there at the end.
At
I
the
threw
end,
one
yeah.
thing, one thing.
One thing.
Uh, so there we go. But yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of
very
zone cutoffs, and the fact that center has zone cutoffs in every spot because this is center. These are the center spaces pretty much. This is
mm-hmm.
the true center because it can get around this loop. This one not quite, and this one not quite, but it gets around this loop, and this gets like all down here and everything. So it's only missing like one spot each for these. This is the
Mm-hmm.
true center, but then you have the red cutoff, and then these have each other. So yeah, it's just a awkward center spot for the zones.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I think on a smaller map, uh, I mean, on a smaller map, it depends on, do you get your fists or do I get my sensational? I mean, like, if I had had sensationals for that first life, like your guys weren't dead that quickly that first life, unless I'm misremembering. No, you did kill two of them.
Yeah, killed
Two
off
of
two
them
of them
were around
quick.
for a while, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
so. I mean, but you were hiding them really well. I just didn't see like anything. So it just so happened that I had like enough firepower because like my first half of the game, I drew these, I drew these, I drew these, I drew these, and I drew these. So kind of all garbage, but it did make it so that second life I have like almost everything that I want,
Yeah,
right? Like,
exactly.
I,
Yep.
I was kind of pruned for like to be able to actually beat you in the end game.
Yeah, I wanted to compare this a little bit to the Luke matchup with Elektra because in that one, the still standings, there's only two of them. So as soon as one is down, the other one is so vulnerable, and it's literally one card in your deck. It does cycle two cards, which is really, really good. It's way better than Sensational. But the
Mm-hmm.
fact that there are three copies of Sensational and there's also two copies of Omega means there's five total cards that are just going to super punish the hand, whereas Luke only has one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just the still standing. So the fact that you had one of these in the discard pile and then you kept attacking with another one, you were looping like a two of copy card rather than a one of. So like you're able to
Mm-hmm.
see it so much more frequently because of that, and that makes such a big difference. Yeah, you only cycle one card back, but still it gave you so many passes and so many cycles.
And that's why I stayed at five for a while because
Yeah.
I was actually kept drawing into it because a 2 out of 5 chance is like way better
Yeah.
than just the 1 out of 5 in like the end game.
Right, so that makes just such a massive difference when it comes to the recursion cycling here on the hand. So I think that's really what puts She-Hulk in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that this one too is like another threat that Second Life Elektra has to respect. It's pretty brutal. Lady Justice, obviously, like always.
For
You
second life, these are really good cards.
yeah, you landed a Lady Justice on me, and I didn't get to land one on you because you fainted it. If I had the cancel, I would have thrown it there. I didn't have it in hand, so I was like, let me throw
Okay,
the ninjutsu just so in
I
case he throws the Lady Justice, I get to get away.
I felt like my only win was because I didn't have ways to punish you, and you still had a full hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like my only way to win was uh, Lady Justice hitting something, and I hit
Yeah,
the ninjutsu, and that was huge.
that was huge. Yeah, and I feel like even as close as this was, like you knocked out a mesmerize too, which I think is massive.
I got so lucky, dude.
I think if I would have had both mesmerizes, I might have still been able to win it.
You would have hit my last leap away, which would have probably won you the game because I could have only moved two away and I would have taken two more damage. So then you maneuver and you attack and you win.
uh,
So
yeah, maybe.
if I had one less card is what I'm, because I
Right.
literally perfectly had everything in my hand. Now that said, you did end at -3, right?
Negative
Tech-
one.
Oh, that's right. Well, you were at one though, and you
Yeah,
maneuvered.
yeah.
So I guess technically I could have had you at. I guess I technically. So I didn't have to throw this. So there's
Mm-hmm.
one more card that I could add.
But like I could have mesmerized your defense instead, right? And maybe landed a 6 undefended.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah,
So
yeah. It's true. And I mean, if you had had it much earlier in there, you would have also hit this when
I
I
drew
had
it
it.
like right after I resurrected, but I was so few cards in hand, and you had so many that I didn't want to get like instantly mega punished by something. So I like played more defensive, trying to just double maneuver back off and draw some cards. And then this got hit. So then I regretted it. I was like, dang it, I should have just used it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to feel comfortable with my defenses since I had so few cards.
Hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Excellent. All
Well,
right.
GG's.
Yeah.
Thanks for
GG's.
playing as always.
Yeah. You too.
I got bracket coming up soon, so we're
Yeah.
gonna have
Good
to
luck, man.
focus on. We'll have to get some drafts in.
Let's do it. Best
Best
of
of
three.
three, yeah, because it's a totally different beast than the best of two.
Hmm.
But yeah, this matchup overall, it is interesting. I will say that it's degen for sure. Like there's nothing. It's all degen, but it is pretty even. It seems very map dependent as well, like any She-Hulk matchup, I think. And if I had to guess which one was favored, I would probably still say Elektra on average. But She-Hulk, just like Luke, does have the tools to win. So it's an
Hmm.
interesting one.
Yep.
Everybody at home, try this out. It's a blast. This is peak Unmatched right here. So if you want a, true test of skill, try this matchup out for yourselves and let us know how it goes. Alrighty, Chad. Thanks for playing as always. I'll catch you later.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sounds good. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
All right. Bye.
All right, so that's going to do it for Matchup of the Month September. And as you can see, it can definitely go either way. I think Elektra really, it's difficult for her to win in fatigue. Maybe it's possible if things go a certain way, but it seems very difficult. And so therefore, you really want to try to get your resurrection combo to deal huge damage to She-Hulk in order to have a chance, it seems, because I think that's how Chad was able to win that first game. Is he brought me down from like 13 down to like 8 health or something in a single turn from combo. Even though I was able to fend off a decent amount of it, it's still 5 damage is pretty big, and that clears away the hand, which means the sensationals are not reliable to trigger anymore for the recursion, and therefore fatigue becomes more of a concern. So I think Elektra really needs to combo She-Hulk down, and on the other hand, She-Hulk needs to try to prevent combo and cycle sensationals off of the hand, which I also was not able to do when I was She-Hulk. So I think it was cool. We kind of saw both sides of the spectrum here, but I think the matchup can go either way, and it's actually a somewhat interesting matchup as far as Elektra and She-Hulk matchups go. So I'd recommend you try it out if you're interested. But thanks to Chad for playing as always, and I do also want to say that the Summer of Legends tournament is coming to an end pretty soon here. We're coming up on the top 8 and then soon to be the finals weekend, which will be, I believe it's October 7th and 8th, whatever Saturday and Sunday that is coming up here. So definitely tune into that live on Twitch at the official Unmatched Tournament Twitch channel. It's just twitch.tv/unmatched tournament, and then we will upload them to YouTube probably about a week after the fact, so you can catch it on YouTube if you don't happen to see it live. But hopefully you guys can make it. It's going to be a blast, and I myself am currently sitting in the top 8. I'm going to have my match going up against Bryden coming up later this week. By the time this video airs, I'm not sure if I will have played it or not yet. But anyways, it's a rematch for me against Bryden. He knocked me out of the very first Premier Unmatched tournament back in early 2021, so it's been over 2 years ago now that happened, and I've wanted my revenge ever since. So Bryden, I'm coming for you. I'm ready for revenge. I'm going to make it back into the top 4, and you guys hopefully will be seeing me in the final stream, and I'm going for that 3rd trophy. It's time. The comeback run of the century for me. It's time. So that's super exciting, but Summer of Legends has been amazing, so you know, the big tournaments are a blast. So definitely catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/zeroskater12, and I will be streaming my tournament matches as I have been throughout the event so far. And you can also see a playlist on there with all of my past tournament matches on there if you want to check them out and see how it's been going for me. But obviously it's been going very well because I'm back in the top 8, so looking forward to that. But that's going to do it for this video. So make sure to, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And please consider supporting me on Patreon because that is where you can cast your votes for Matchup of the Month future episodes. And also it's how you can help support me to continue bringing you guys all this content, because especially now that I have Darkblade on as an editor, I have to pay him somehow. And so Patreon helps me pass on that money to Zach in order to keep bringing you guys content. So please consider supporting me on Patreon. I'd really appreciate any and all support from you guys. But all the likes and subs and all the comments and all that, that's all great too. So I appreciate everything from everybody, and I'm looking forward to the next episode. So that's going to do it for this one, but thank you all for watching. I'm Zeroskater12, and I'll see you next time.